What's shaking in the tech world and beyond? It's your daily download of the moments that matter, and we've got a packed show for you today. The news cycle never sleeps, and neither do we, bringing you the updates you absolutely cannot afford to miss. Get ready for some major reveals, some unexpected twists, and insights that will keep you ahead of the curve. From the devices in your pocket to the stories shaping our world, we're diving deep into the headlines that are making waves right now. So buckle up, stay tuned, and let's get into it. First up, the whispers around a certain highly anticipated device are getting louder, and the latest intel might have you reaching for your wallet. We're talking about potential price shifts that could redefine what you expect to pay for cutting-edge technology. Could this be the year we see a significant jump in cost for a device many of us rely on daily? We've got the details that could impact your next upgrade. Then, we shift gears to a different kind of narrative, one that explores the complex landscape of memory and healing. A powerful new production is taking center stage, delving into profound themes of childhood experiences and their lasting echoes. This isn't just a story, it's an intricate look at how the past shapes the present, with performances that promise to be both moving and thought-provoking. Prepare to be captivated by a tale that resonates deeply. And the impact of major tech decisions continues to unfold, with a significant legal ruling that could have far-reaching consequences for some of the biggest names in the industry. We'll break down how this judgment might reshape partnerships and influence the digital landscape we navigate every day. Finally, a local alert that has residents on edge as a potential wild encounter is caught on camera. Is it a familiar threat or something new lurking in the shadows? We've got the latest on this developing situation. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Get ready to open your wallet. iPhone 17 price shockwaves hit ahead of launch. As the tech world eagerly awaits Apple's next big reveal, new analyst reports are dropping like bombshells, and the latest on the iPhone 17 lineup suggests that your wallet might be feeling the pinch sooner than you think. With the highly anticipated launch just days away, the rumor mill has been working overtime, and the focus is squarely on the price tags of Apple's 2025 flagship smartphones. Buckle up, because the projections are pointing towards a significant increase across several models, potentially reshaping consumer expectations and Apple's market strategy. According to a detailed analysis from TrendForce, shared via MacRumors, we're looking at a landscape where several iPhone 17 models are expected to command higher prices compared to their predecessors. While the base iPhone 17 is slated to maintain the iPhone 16's starting price of $799 for its 8GB RAM and 128GB storage configuration in the US, the story takes a different turn for its siblings. This pricing stability for the base model might offer a glimmer of hope, but it's the subsequent tiers where the real cost increases are anticipated. International pricing, which historically mirrors US figures, also remains a point of keen interest, with last year's models starting at £799 and $399, suggesting a potential global trend in price adjustments. The newly introduced iPhone 17 Air, positioned to replace the iPhone 16 Plus, is set to start at a considerably higher $1,099. This new model comes equipped with 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, a notable upgrade from the iPhone 16 Plus's 8GB RAM and 128GB storage that began at $899/899 $599. This suggests Apple is not only increasing prices, but also bundling more robust specifications into its mid-range offerings, demanding a premium for the enhanced performance and capacity. For the power users and enthusiasts, the iPhone 17 Pro is expected to see a price jump from the iPhone 16 Pro's starting point of $999/$999 $1,849 to a new baseline of $1,199. Crucially, this increased price tag will reportedly be accompanied by a bump in base specifications, moving to 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, up from the iPhone 16 Pro's 8GB RAM and 128GB storage. This strategy of increasing prices while simultaneously enhancing base hardware is a classic Apple move, aiming to justify the higher cost through perceived value and improved user experience. The flagship iPhone 17 Pro Max is also following this upward trajectory. While the iPhone 16 Pro Max launched at $1,199/$1,199 $2 with 256 GB of storage, the 2025 iteration is anticipated to start at $1,299. Similar to the Pro model, this price increase is expected to be coupled with an upgrade in RAM from 8 GB to 12 GB, while maintaining the 256 GB storage baseline. These figures, even when accounting for the enhanced RAM and storage, indicate a broader trend of increased costs for Apple's premium devices. The driving force behind these potential price hikes remains speculative, with factors like escalating U.S. tariffs and the general economic climate likely playing a role. While previous rumors offered conflicting forecasts, the clarity is expected to arrive on Tuesday, September 9, when Apple officially unveils its new lineup. The event kicks off at 10 a.m. PT/1 p.m. ET/6 p.m. BST, with those in Australia tuning in at 3 a.m. AEST on September 10. The implications are clear. The cost of entry for most of the iPhone 17 models is set to be higher, signaling a potential shift in Apple's pricing strategy for its flagship devices. Audience impact. This news has ignited a firestorm of discussion online, with consumers debating whether the increased specs justify the higher prices and expressing concerns about affordability. Analysts, however, seem to view the potential price increases as a calculated move by Apple, potentially driven by increased component costs and a strategy to boost average selling prices. But what happens when the spotlight shifts from consumer electronics to the intricate world of live theater and the echoes of the past? Hold onto your seats, because our next story dives into a compelling new play that explores the profound impact of childhood experiences. Apple Sees in Bloom, a haunting play unearths trauma in rural Oregon. As the leaves begin to turn and the scent of autumn fills the air, the title Apple Season might evoke images of idyllic childhoods, crisp fruit, and sun-drenched orchards. However, playwright E.M. Lewis uses this familiar setting to craft a deeply intricate and gripping narrative that explores the harrowing realities of childhood trauma and its enduring impact on adult survivors. The play, currently gracing the stage at Southeast Portland's 2110 Theater, offers a poignant and powerful examination of how the past continues to haunt the present, even decades after fleeing its origins. The story unfolds within the evocative orchard of Lissy and Roger's childhood home in rural Oregon, a place they abandoned as teenagers 25 years prior. Their return for their father's funeral serves as a catalyst, reopening old wounds and confronting buried memories. It is here that Lissy encounters Billy, a figure from her high school days who proposes to purchase the property. This seemingly simple business proposition triggers a flood of painful recollections from Lissy's formative years, setting the stage for a profound exploration of memory, resilience, and the complex bonds of siblinghood. Director Francisco Garcia masterfully guides the audience through the dual timelines of the narrative, seamlessly transitioning between the present day and Lissy's fractured memories. Through subtle shifts in lighting, the ethereal soundscape of wind chimes composed by Day Thomas, and minor costume adjustments, the production artfully signifies the descent into recollection. These transitions are not merely scenic devices. They are crucial in conveying the psychological landscape of the characters, making the audience feel Lissy's disorientation and the weight of her past. The first memory sequence is particularly chilling. Without resorting to explicit depictions of violence, the audience witnesses a young Lissy and Roger huddled together in the branches of an apple tree at night. The palpable fear is amplified by the ambient sounds of gunshots, approaching footsteps, and the aggressive, drunken tirades of their father. Their shared use of soft Spanish, a secret language presumably unknown to their white father, underscores their isolation and their reliance on each other for solace. This secret bond makes their subsequent emotional distance as adults all the more heart-wrenching, illustrating how trauma, despite physical escape, can leave deep, invisible scars that keep loved ones apart. Further emphasizing their individual struggles with the past, Lissy and Roger navigate separate interactions with Billy in the present day, set in 1996. Neither sibling can bring themselves to fully trust Billy, hindering their ability to share the truth of their experiences. Lissy's present-day cynicism, particularly her dismissal of Billy as a simple 41-year-old farmer still living in his childhood home, prevents her from recognizing the depth beneath his gentle exterior. Billy's quiet assertion that she cannot escape the voices in her head reveals an uncanny understanding that widens the chasm between them, highlighting how survivors often project their own internal struggles onto others. The performances by Paulina Jaeger-Rosite, Michael Heidingsfelder, and Jonathan Hernandez are uniformly sensitive and compelling. In the intimate setting of the 2110 Theater, the actors convey profound emotion through subtle glances and nuanced dialogue, building a palpable tension that grips the audience throughout the play's taut 80-minute runtime. The minimalist scenic design by Olivia Vavrock, featuring 2 dark, leafy apple trees and simple wooden pallets, effectively evokes the dual nature of the orchard, a place of both lost innocence and lingering dread. At its core, the play is a testament to Lewis's masterful writing, which artfully balances the brutal realities of trauma with moments of profound tenderness. The symbolism is rich, from the orchard itself, never a paradise for these characters, to Roger's dreams of horses representing freedom and his love for Louis L. Amer novels, which mirror his own narrative of overcoming adversity. The play glows with unspoken affection, hinting at the characters' deep-seated desire to heal each other, even without offering easy resolutions or promising a happily ever after. Audience impact. Audiences and critics alike are praising the play's powerful storytelling and the actors' nuanced performances, with many highlighting its sensitive portrayal of complex emotional themes and its ability to resonate long after the curtain falls. The production is being lauded for its bravery in tackling difficult subjects with grace and authenticity. From the deeply personal narratives of theater, we now turn to the sprawling world of global technology and the seismic shifts occurring within it. Stay with us as we unravel a major legal victory that carries significant implications for some of the biggest players in the digital arena. Google's antitrust victory, a resounding win that could save Apple billions. In a development that has sent ripples of relief through the tech industry, Google has secured a significant legal victory in its antitrust case, a ruling that not only safeguards its core services like Chrome and Android, but also has profound positive implications for Apple. The judge's decision allows Google to continue its practice of paying tech giants to promote its search engine, a crucial revenue stream for companies like Apple that rely on these lucrative deals to bolster their services divisions. This outcome averts a potentially disruptive scenario for Apple, which could have been forced to navigate the complex and costly process of finding an alternative default search provider while simultaneously grappling with other regulatory challenges. U.S. District Judge Amit Verma delivered the verdict, ruling that while Google cannot engage in exclusive agreements that stifle competition, it can persist in compensating partners for distributing its services. This specific provision is a game-changer for Apple, ensuring the continuation of the multi-billion-dollar deal that designates Google Search as the default web browser option across Apple's vast ecosystem. For Apple, this ruling eliminates a significant overhang, preventing the need to seek out and integrate a new search engine, a task complicated by the company's ongoing adjustments to App Store policies under EU regulations and its efforts to stay competitive in the rapidly evolving AI landscape, where search engines are increasingly being augmented or even replaced. Wedbush Securities analyst Dan Ives characterized the judgment as a black cloud worry lifted from Apple's stock, noting that investors had feared a potential breakup of Google Chrome or the termination of the search deal with Apple. Ives elaborated that this outcome is a monster win for Cupertino, and for Google it's a home run ruling that removes a huge overhang on the stock. His team further commented that the ruling is broadly favorable for Google. In our view, with the court ruling against the most severe remedy proposals introduced by the DOJ. This sentiment underscores the market's positive reception to a decision that avoids drastic restructuring for Google and preserves a critical partnership for Apple. Google currently commands an overwhelming market share in search, accounting for approximately 90% of global usage as of August, according to StatCounter Global Stats. The prospect of Apple being compelled to abandon this partnership would have necessitated a difficult choice. Either adopt a less popular search engine or embark on the monumental task of developing its own. Apple's Senior Vice President of Services, Eddie Q, previously indicated the company's reluctance to pursue the latter, citing the immense financial and human capital required. The development of a search engine would require diverting both capital investment and employees, because creating a search engine would cost billions of dollars and take many years, Q stated last year. He further explained that building a viable search engine would necessitate establishing a platform for targeted advertising, which is not considered a core competency for Apple, despite its existing niche advertising efforts on platforms like the App Store. While the tech industry and investors have largely applauded the ruling, it has drawn criticism from various think tanks and advocacy groups. These organizations have long advocated for Google's breakup, citing its monopolistic practices and arguing that stronger regulatory action is necessary to foster genuine competition. Critics contend that this judgment reinforces Google's dominant position and sets a precedent where major tech companies may face fewer repercussions for legal transgressions. The ruling, therefore, represents a complex victory, bringing immediate financial relief and strategic stability to Apple while reigniting debates about market dominance and the effectiveness of antitrust enforcement in the digital age. Audience impact. Tech industry watchers and investors are breathing a sigh of relief, recognizing the financial stability this ruling provides for Apple. However, consumer advocacy groups are expressing disappointment, fearing that the decision will further entrench Google's dominance and reduce pressure for competitive innovation. Now, we venture from the boardrooms and courtrooms to the more unpredictable landscapes of local wildlife. Stay tuned as we investigate a potential sighting that has residents in a particular community on high alert. Mystery cat caught on camera, mountain lion or bobcat in Apple Valley. Residents of Apple Valley, California, are on alert following the appearance of surveillance footage capturing a large feline creature prowling through the Equestrian Center area early Wednesday morning, September 3, 2025. The homeowner who captured the image on his property, located in a community known for its equestrian activities, expressed significant concern for the safety of local livestock, pets, and residents. The animal's gait and size suggest it could be a mountain lion, though the possibility that it is a large bobcat has also been raised, adding a layer of uncertainty to the sighting. This incident follows a recent alert issued by the town of Apple Valley on August 20, 2025. In that advisory, town officials reported the sighting of a young mountain lion in a residential neighborhood near Skyline Ranch. While it remains unconfirmed whether the animal spotted this week is the same individual seen last month, the recurrence of such sightings underscores a growing concern among the community about the presence of large predators in or near residential areas. The proximity to horse stables intensifies these concerns, as horses can be vulnerable to attacks by large cats. In response to these sightings, town officials have provided crucial safety guidelines for residents. They emphasize that mountain lions are typically solitary animals that tend to avoid human interaction, and sightings are considered rare. However, the advisory stresses the importance of remaining vigilant and taking necessary precautions to ensure personal safety and the security of domestic animals. Key recommendations often include keeping pets indoors, especially during dawn and dusk hours when these animals are most active, securing trash cans to avoid attracting wildlife, and being aware of one's surroundings when outdoors. Residents are strongly encouraged to report any further sightings of what they suspect to be a mountain lion to the relevant authorities. Prompt reporting allows wildlife agencies to track the animal's movements and implement appropriate management strategies, which may include monitoring, deterrence, or, in rare cases, relocation. The goal is to manage the situation proactively, minimizing the risk to both the public and the animal itself. The uncertainty between a mountain lion and a bobcat highlights the need for careful observation and accurate reporting, as these animals have different behaviors and require distinct safety protocols. The presence of such wildlife in populated areas is a growing challenge in many communities, often stemming from habitat encroachment and the natural expansion of animal territories. Apple Valley, with its semi-rural characteristics and proximity to natural open spaces, is particularly susceptible to these encounters. The town's proactive approach in issuing advisories and safety tips demonstrates a commitment to public safety and wildlife coexistence. As the investigation into the recent sighting continues, the community is urged to remain calm but cautious. Homeowners with surveillance systems are encouraged to review their footage and report any relevant observations. The safety tips provided by the town serve as a vital reminder for all residents to be prepared and informed, ensuring that any potential encounters are managed safely and responsibly, preserving both human and animal well-being. Audience impact. The local community is abuzz with discussion and concern following the video footage, with residents sharing safety tips and expressing a mix of apprehension and fascination. Local news outlets are actively covering the story, urging residents to stay informed and report any sightings. And that wraps up our deep dives for today. But don't go anywhere, because we've got a lightning round recap of all the biggest stories and a full call to action coming up right after this. All right, everyone, that's a wrap on today's incredible news cycle. We saw potential iPhone 17 price hikes on the horizon, a powerful new play exploring deep-seated trauma, a major antitrust ruling with huge implications for tech giants, and a mysterious big cat sighting keeping a California town on its toes. Don't miss out on any future updates. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below telling us what you thought, and follow us on all our social channels for more exclusive content. We'll see you next time.